You wake up, check your phone, and see a headline: Bitcoin hits $60,000 again. But what does that even mean? Is it a stock, a currency, a bubble? It's not just a number, it's a whole new way to think about money. Bitcoin is the first digital currency that doesn't need a bank. No middlemen, no government, just code. It's like the internet, but for money. And it's changing how we think about value. The idea was simple: use math and a global network of computers to create a system that's transparent, secure, and resistant to fraud. No one can control it, not even the government. So what's the big deal? It's not just about money. It's about freedom, innovation, and reimagining the future of finance. But it's also controversial, mysterious, and full of potential. Today, we're diving into what Bitcoin really is. We'll explore its origins, how it works, and why it matters. Let's go from zero to blockchain in one video. So what exactly are we talking about? Bitcoin is a digital currency, but not like the cash in your wallet. It's a system that lets people send and receive money online without needing a bank. It's built on something called blockchain, which is like a shared ledger that records every transaction ever made. No one person controls it, and it's completely transparent. You can send Bitcoin to anyone in the world, anytime, as long as you have an internet connection. There's no need for a middleman like a bank or a government. But here's the catch: Bitcoin is completely decentralized, meaning no one person or group controls it. That's what makes it unique, but also a bit confusing for some people. So to sum up, Bitcoin is a digital currency built on a decentralized network, and it's designed to be used anywhere, anytime, without the need for a central authority. You might not think about it, but every time you swipe a card or tap your phone, you're part of a system that's been reshaped by Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't just about money. It's about control, trust, and who gets to decide how transactions happen. It's hiding in the background, but it's changing how we think about ownership, privacy, and the future of value. Even if you don't use it, Bitcoin is shaping the rules of the digital world you live in. So yes, you should secretly care, because the future of how we handle money and trust is being written right now. Back in 2008, a mysterious person or group called Satoshi Nakamoto published a white paper that changed everything. It explained how to create a decentralized digital currency that didn't need banks. The idea was simple but revolutionary: a peer-to-peer system where people could send and receive money directly without a central authority. It was called Bitcoin. The early days were quiet, with only a few thousand coins in circulation. But the community grew, and people started to see Bitcoin as more than just a digital currency. By 2010, Bitcoin made its first real-world purchase: a pizza. 2 pizzas were traded for 10,000 BTC, a deal that's now a legendary moment in crypto history. As more people got involved, Bitcoin grew in value and attention. It became a symbol of both innovation and controversy, sparking debates and dreams around the world. Bitcoin's journey from a white paper to a global phenomenon was fast, but it was built on something slow and strong: trust in a new way of doing money. Bitcoin is like a digital piggy bank, but for grown-ups. You can store your money in it and send it to friends around the world. But instead of a person holding the key, everyone on the internet helps keep the piggy bank safe. That's how it works. So Bitcoin is like a shared digital notebook where everyone writes down the same rules. And it's always there. No one can change it. You don't need to trust anyone because everyone is watching. It's like a game where you all have to be honest. That's why Bitcoin is so powerful. It's not owned by anyone, it's owned by everyone. And that's the magic of it. Let me start by showing you the first step in the whole process: setting up the system. Imagine a group of people, each with a computer and a special app, all connected to the same network. These people are like the first builders of the system. They're not just using the app, they're also running the software that keeps everything running. But what makes this network special is that it's decentralized. No one person or company controls it. Everyone has a say in how it runs. So the setup isn't just about building the system, it's about creating trust through shared responsibility and transparency. That's how it all starts. Once the transaction is created, it needs to be verified by the network. This is where miners come in, using powerful computers to solve complex puzzles. Solving these puzzles is like a game of digital hide and seek. The first miner to find the answer gets to add the transaction to the blockchain. This process is called mining, and it ensures that every transaction is secure and tamper-proof. It's what keeps the Bitcoin network safe and trustworthy. Every time a miner adds a block, they're also securing the entire network. It's a digital fortress built block by block. So in short, mining is how the network checks and confirms every Bitcoin transaction. making sure nothing is fake or stolen. Now, here's the clever twist. Instead of one person controlling the money, it's spread across millions of computers worldwide. Every transaction is recorded on a shared ledger, and no single person can change it. This ledger is called the blockchain, and it's secured using something called cryptography. It's like a digital lock that only certain people can open, and it's nearly impossible to break. Because everyone has a copy of the ledger, no one can cheat the system. If someone tries to spend the same Bitcoin twice, the network rejects it immediately. This system works because the people who run the network are rewarded for keeping things fair. They get new Bitcoin and transaction fees as a reward for their work. So in the end, Bitcoin isn't controlled by any one person or government. It's a decentralized system that operates through trust, math, and shared rules. Bitcoin isn't just code, it's a machine built on math. Every transaction is a puzzle that only the right key can solve. It's like a digital lock that only one person can open. This machine is powered by something called a blockchain. It's a chain of blocks, each one filled with data from a group of transactions. They are linked together so you can't change the past. Each block is secured with a special code called a hash. It's like a fingerprint for the block. If you try to change anything, the fingerprint changes too, and the whole chain notices. Miners are the ones who solve these puzzles. They use powerful computers to guess the right key. Once they find it, they get a reward, and they help keep the whole system running. This science is what makes Bitcoin safe, fast, and fair. It's not controlled by any one person, it's a decentralized machine, built by the people for the people. So imagine if your favorite pizza place gave you a special card that only works if you're the first to order on a specific day. That card is like a Bitcoin address. It's a spot where your money can be stored, but only if you're the first to use it. And just like that pizza card, you can't really touch the Bitcoin. It's just a record in a big, shared notebook. So it's not money in the traditional sense, but it's a way to prove you own something that's rare and hard to copy. That's why people call it digital gold. It's a way to store value just like gold, but in a computer. One of the weirdest things about Bitcoin is that it's not stored in any one place. It's just math, floating around the internet, waiting to be found. Think of it like a treasure hunt. The Bitcoin is spread across millions of computers, and only the right key can unlock it. It's like a hidden message in the code of the internet. You can't see it, but it's there, waiting to be unlocked by those who know how. So when people say Bitcoin is decentralized, they mean it's not in any one place, it's everywhere, but only some can use it. Myth number 1 is that Bitcoin is a scam, but that's not true. Bitcoin is a real working system that people use all over the world. Some people say it's just a bubble, but that's not how it works. Bitcoin is a decentralized network that runs without a central bank or government. There are real businesses that accept Bitcoin, and real people who use it to buy things, send money, and store value. So if someone tells you Bitcoin is a scam, they are not telling the full story. It's not just a myth, it's a real revolutionary idea. Here's a find worth sharing: the Amazon Echo Dot 5th Gen smart speaker. Point your camera at the QR code or use the description link. Subscribe for more where that came from. Myth number 2 is that Bitcoin is just a digital coin you can mine from thin air. But that's not how it works at all. Bitcoin is created through a process called mining, but it's not like digging for gold. It's more like solving complex puzzles to earn new coins. Miners use powerful computers to verify transactions and secure the network, and they are rewarded with new Bitcoin for their work. So while mining is a real part of Bitcoin, it's not like you can just create coins out of nothing. It's a fair, transparent system that rewards effort. That's how Bitcoin stays safe and fair, by making sure only those who do the work get the rewards. You might not realize it, but Bitcoin is already part of your daily routine. Every time you shop online, a digital payment system is quietly working in the background. Many of the apps you use, like Venmo or PayPal, are built on similar digital money concepts, even if they aren't Bitcoin. They're all part of the same financial revolution. Bitcoin isn't just about sending money. It's also about trust, security, and controlling your own financial future without relying on banks. So the next time you use your phone or pay online, remember that you're interacting with the future of money, quietly but powerfully. Let me take you to a real-life scenario where Bitcoin's power really shines. And it's way more than just a digital coin. Imagine you're in a small town where the local bank is closed, and the only way to send money is through a Bitcoin wallet. That same money then gets transferred instantly to someone across the world, without any government or bank getting involved. In this moment, Bitcoin is more than a currency. It's a tool for financial freedom, especially in places where traditional banking is unreliable. So this is what Bitcoin really does. It changes how we think about money and how it moves across the world. Bitcoin's price has gone from a few $100s to over $60,000 in just a few years. It's like watching a rocket launch, fast, loud, and full of surprises. Some people got rich overnight, while others lost everything in a blink. It's not just about money, it's about belief and timing. These extreme highs and lows are part of what makes Bitcoin so intense. It's not for the faint of heart. Only the most daring can ride the wave. The extreme nature of Bitcoin shows how volatile and unpredictable it can be. It's not just a currency, it's a roller coaster with no safety harness. Whether you're excited or scared, one thing is clear. Bitcoin's extreme ride is far from over. It's just getting started. So what happens if everything goes wrong? Well, imagine the whole system crashing, like a giant digital storm. Bitcoin's network could slow down, transactions might get stuck, and the whole thing could feel like it's grinding to a halt. Still, if the internet goes down, or if there's a massive security breach, Bitcoin could be temporarily out of reach. In the worst-case scenario, it might take days or even weeks for things to return to normal, and trust in the system could take a hit. But remember, even in the worst case, Bitcoin is still out there, waiting for the system to come back online. Bitcoin isn't just about making money, it's also about making a lot of people very nervous. People who run the internet, the banks, and even governments don't like it because it's hard to control. This is why you won't see any mention of Bitcoin in the government's textbooks or on the news. It's like a secret weapon that challenges the old power structures. The truth is, Bitcoin's biggest downside isn't about losing money, it's about being out of control. Once it's out there, no one can stop it. So while the brochure talks about profits and possibilities, the real story is about power and who gets to keep it. So how did humans even figure out that a digital currency could exist without a central bank? It started with a group of people who thought outside the box, challenging the way money had always been controlled. They imagined a system where trust wasn't based on a government or a bank, but on math and code. That was a huge shift in how people thought about value and control. It was like giving the world a digital ledger that everyone could see, but only the owner could change. That's how they made sure no one could double spend or fake money. This wasn't just a dream, it was a breakthrough. They used something called a blockchain, a chain of blocks that record every transaction ever made forever. So the idea of Bitcoin wasn't just a spark, it was a revolution in how people think about money, trust, and control. It's a story of clever minds and bold ideas. Imagine someone trying to send a Bitcoin payment to a wallet that doesn't exist. It's like trying to mail a letter to a street that never was. The network tries to process the transaction, but there's no place for it to go. It's like asking a restaurant to serve a dish that's never on the menu. In this weird edge case, the Bitcoin network just ignores the transaction. It's not a mistake, it's just a fact of the system. This shows how Bitcoin is built to handle the impossible. It doesn't crash, it just politely says, "Not my problem." It's a weird, almost funny moment in the world of cryptocurrency. Like when your favorite app just refuses to do something, for no reason at all. What if we designed a system where trust is optional? Imagine a world where you don't need a bank to store your money, and everyone has the same rules. It's like having a public ledger that no one can cheat. This is the core idea behind Bitcoin. It's a system that doesn't rely on anyone being honest, just that the math is right. No one can change the rules once they're set. Let's compare Bitcoin to something you already know. Imagine you're holding a $100 bill. It's paper, but it's trusted because the government backs it. Bitcoin is like a digital version of that bill, but with no government involved. The $100 bill can be printed more, but Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million coins. That's like having a limited number of tickets for a concert. Once they're gone, no more. The $100 bill is stored in a bank, but Bitcoin is stored in a digital wallet. It's like having a piggy bank in your phone. You control it, but you have to be careful. The $100 bill is used everywhere, but Bitcoin is only used for certain things, like buying things online or sending money across the world. It's not yet the universal currency. In the end, Bitcoin is like a digital version of money, but it's different in every way. It's not backed by a government, it's not printed, and it's stored in your phone, not in a bank. Even now, top economists and technologists can't agree on what Bitcoin really is. Some see it as money, others as a speculative bet, and a few think it's a new kind of asset altogether. Some argue it's a decentralized financial system, others say it's just a fancy crypto lottery. The debates get even harder when you bring in central banks and regulators. It's not just about the math or the code, it's about power, trust, and control. Who really holds the keys and who decides what Bitcoin should be? The truth is, Bitcoin is still evolving. Its identity isn't set in stone, it's a living experiment, and the debate is just getting started. So how does this all work without a central bank? Well, it's all about trust in the code, not in people. Bitcoin uses a system called blockchain, which is like a shared, unchangeable record of all transactions. Each block is linked to the one before it, so if someone tries to alter the past, the whole chain breaks. This makes the system secure, transparent, and trustless. No one has to trust anyone else. It's like a digital contract that everyone agrees to follow, written in code and enforced by math. Many people think Bitcoin is just a digital currency, but they forget it's also a store of value. It's like digital gold, not a regular bank account. Beginners often assume Bitcoin is easy to mine, but mining is hard, expensive, and requires specialized hardware. It's not like digging for gold in your backyard. Some people think Bitcoin is only for criminals, but it's actually used by millions for everyday transactions, just like cash or credit cards. Many new users think Bitcoin can be used anywhere, but it's not accepted by all merchants. You need to find places that accept it or use a wallet to convert it to fiat. Beginners often think Bitcoin is a scam, but it's actually a real, decentralized technology that's been around since 2009 and is used by millions worldwide. Here's a find worth sharing: the Kindle Paperwhite e-reader. Point your camera at the QR code or use the description link. Subscribe for more where that came from. You might think of Bitcoin as just numbers on a screen, but there's one tiny detail that changes everything. It's not about the coins themselves, but how they're created and controlled. Bitcoin is built on a system called proof of work. Miners solve complex puzzles to add new blocks to the blockchain, and they are rewarded with new Bitcoins. This system ensures that no one can create more Bitcoins than was originally planned. It's like a digital gold mine, but with strict rules on how much can be mined. Because of this, Bitcoin is scarce and has value. It's not just a digital currency, it's a new form of money that's built into its very code. This tiny detail, the fixed supply, is what makes Bitcoin different from anything else. It's not just about technology, it's about control and scarcity. Imagine holding a stack of 100 $1 bills. That's about the size of a small phone book. Now, think of Bitcoin as a digital version of that stack, but it's not physical, it's just data. Bitcoin's total supply is capped at 21 million coins. That's less than the number of people who have ever lived on Earth. It's like a digital version of gold, but you can't dig it up. If you had all 21 million Bitcoins right now, you'd be one of the richest people on Earth. But no one owns them all, just like no one owns all the gold in the world. That's why Bitcoin is so special. It's not just about the money. It's about creating a system that can't be controlled by anyone, not even the governments or big banks. Back in 2010, someone tried to buy 2 pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoins. That's the first real-world use of Bitcoin ever. The owner of the pizza place didn't know what Bitcoin was, so he just accepted the coins as payment. Today, those 10,000 Bitcoins are worth millions. That pizza was one of the first ever Bitcoin transactions. This moment showed that Bitcoin could be used for real things, not just a digital experiment. It's a funny, weird, but important moment in Bitcoin's history. That pizza is still a legend in crypto circles. So in a way, Bitcoin started with a pizza, and that's how it got its first real-life test. Most people talk about Bitcoin's price, but few ask why it even exists. It's like asking why a car exists without ever thinking about roads or fuel. Bitcoin wasn't built to be a quick get-rich scheme. It was designed to be a system that doesn't rely on trust in people or banks. Bitcoin is a way to store value without a central authority. It's like having a safe that only you can open, and no one can cheat the system. People talk about Bitcoin as if it's just a coin, but it's actually a whole new way of thinking about money, trust, and control. The real question is, why would anyone build something so complex, just to give people a way to hold value without anyone in charge? Bitcoin is more than just a currency. It's a movement, a protocol, and a foundation for a new kind of internet. The future of Bitcoin is being built on top of it. Think of it as the base layer for all kinds of financial innovation. New projects are using Bitcoin's security and decentralization to power everything from lending to identity verification. Bitcoin's underlying technology is opening doors to a world where trust is built through code, not people. The future is still being written, but Bitcoin is the foundation on which it's built. Even now, some things about Bitcoin remain completely unclear. No one knows exactly who created it or how they did it. The mystery is part of what makes it so fascinating. There are whispers of a person called Satoshi Nakamoto, but no one has ever confirmed who they are. It's like a ghost story in the world of tech. Even the original Bitcoin white paper is full of questions. Why did the creator choose this particular design? What was the real goal? Bitcoin's future is also a mystery. Will it become the main currency, or will it fade into history? We're still waiting to find out. The mystery isn't just about the past, it's also about the future. And that's what makes Bitcoin so unpredictable and intriguing. Did you know Bitcoin was first mentioned in a 2008 white paper? It was like a blueprint for a new kind of money, written by someone using the name Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin's first block, called the Genesis block, was mined in 2009. It's like the first ever Bitcoin coin, and it's still sitting in a wallet somewhere. Bitcoin has a maximum supply of 21 million coins. That's like having a set number of tickets for a concert. Once they are all sold, no more can be made. Bitcoin transactions are secured by math, not trust. It's like a puzzle that only the right person can solve to move the money, and it's almost impossible to cheat. Bitcoin can be sent anywhere in the world in seconds, without needing a bank. It's like sending a digital postcard that arrives in the blink of an eye. And finally, even though it's digital, Bitcoin has a real-world impact. It's helping people in places with unstable currencies, and it's changing how we think about money. Let me recap everything we've covered so far. We started with the basics: what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. It's a digital currency that's completely decentralized, meaning no banks or governments control it. We talked about blockchain technology, the ledger that keeps track of all Bitcoin transactions. It's secure, transparent, and built on a network of computers around the world. We also looked at Bitcoin's role as a store of value, often called digital gold, and how it can be used for payments, investments, and even as a hedge against inflation. And finally, we touched on the challenges and controversies around Bitcoin, from its energy use to its potential for financial freedom. It's a complex, evolving system with a lot of potential. Bitcoin isn't just a digital currency. It's a global financial revolution built on trust, code, and the collective will of millions. Every transaction, every wallet, every miner is part of this decentralized, trustless system. No banks, no governments, just math. You can send money across the world in seconds, with no fees, no middlemen, just pure, unbreakable digital trust. Bitcoin is more than money. It's a new way to think about value, ownership, and freedom in a digital age. It's not just a trend, it's a movement, and it's changing how the world thinks about money forever. Alright, that's it for today's deep dive into Bitcoin. If you're still curious, there's a whole world of crypto out there waiting for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon if you want to stay in the loop with more crypto and tech topics. Stay curious, stay informed, and remember, the future is digital. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to say hi in the comments. We love to hear from you. See you next time for more tech, crypto, and everything in between. Before you go, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to make next. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.